Yeah.
Alright,
One, two, two.
Good night, greetings everybody. We are G-Syndicate, and tonight is vibes as we syndicate you vibes, you know. You're gonna be hearing some songs off our upcoming EP. Think it's gonna be nice. So right about now, we starting with this one. Ready to blow? So are you ready to go? So are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Oh, ready to blow, ready to blow. Oh, ha, so let me go.
Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go.
It's time to start the party. Sometimes we be getting dirty. This time we're starting this thing right. Hey, so just kick off your shoes. It's no time to feel the blues. So baby, we gonna do our thing tonight. Oh, leave the work at home, leave the stress alone. Toss away your worries. Ain't got no time for that, baby. Now you got the chance. Lose your fears, just dance. We're gonna rock this party. Just raise your hands if you're ready.
Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go.
It's time for you to be free. Let's just enjoy the party tonight. We just gonna ease our mind. So just think about the world, 'cause we're not gonna step on all in the way. Just leaving all our fears behind. So leave the work at home, leave the stress alone. Toss away your worries. Ain't got no time for that, baby. Now you got the chance. Lose your fears, just dance. We're gonna rock this party. Just raise your hands if you're ready.
Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go.
Let the music take control. Let it seep into your soul. When the bass line starts pulsating, feel the stress evaporate. Let it bring me to your mind. There could be no better time to get on the floor, 'cause we're just ready to blow. Ready to blow, start up the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark on the trombone.
Start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go.
Give it up for Mark, y'all.
So
let me go.
Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's
Be
go.
ready to blow.
Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go.
Yes, folks, good night one more time. We are G-Syndicate. This next song we're going to do for you, you can find it on our upcoming EP called Revive. We released it last year, and be ready to rock. This one is called Chemistry.
Hey, 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 girl. Hey, 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 girl. Sweet cat, call the honey bar, good looking. The way how you move it, put me in a mood, I'm glad to see you. Your waistline on the baseline, so attractive, I wanna be a captive. I see a smile on your face now, so beautiful, I know you're original.
So come wind up on me, I wanna see if you got good chemistry. And come push back for me, don't hold back, gal, just be free. Love how you dance and show off, show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. That's why, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, cause we're still grooving. I love how you dance and show off, show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. That's why, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, cause we're still grooving. We're still grooving. We're still grooving. We're still grooving.
Come talk to me, girl, classy and intelligent, and you run the world. I let me say face to face, know you feel the tension, just had to mention. Your brown eyes, shining bright, so gorgeous and glowing like sunlight. I hear your voice, angelic eyes, so amazing, I wanna keep this going.
So come wind up on me, I wanna see if you got good chemistry. And come push back on me, don't hold back, gal, just be free. I love you dance and show off, show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. Dance me, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, cause we're still grooving. I love you dance and show off, show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. Dance me, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, cause we're still grooving. Still grooving. Still grooving. Still grooving.
Hey, girl, I wanna take you home with me.
And hey, girl, show you good energy, yeah.
Hey, girl, I wanna treat you right, you see, you see, you see.
Hey, just the two of us. We can make it if we try, just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
Just the two of us. Building castles in the sky, just the two of us. You and I. What you won't do for love. You try everything, but you won't give up. What you won't do for love. You try everything, but you won't give up. So come wind up on me, I wanna see if you got good chemistry. And come push back on me, don't hold back, gal, just be free. Love your dance and show off, show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. Dance me, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, come and just groove. And I love your dance and show off, show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. Dance me, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, come and just groove. And I love your dance and show off, show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. Dance me, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, we're still moving. I love you not touch.
Show off, show off.
You have my attention. That's for me, baby.
Step out, step out.
Just keep it moving, cause we're still grooving. We're still grooving. Still grooving. Still grooving. Yeah.
The next selection is entitled Englishman in New York, a song made famous by Sting in the 80s. Hope you enjoy.
I don't drink coffee, I drink tea, my tea. I like my toaster on one side. You can hear it in my accent when I talk. I'm an Englishman in New York. See me walking down Fifth Avenue, a walking king here at my side. I take it everywhere I walk. I'm an Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien. make it man, as someone said. He's a hero of the day. It takes a man to suffer ignorance and smile. Be yourself, no matter what they say. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Modesty's propriety can lead to notoriety. You could end up as the only one. Gentleness, sobriety, all rare in this society. At night a candle's brighter than the sun. In New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made up. There's nothing you can do. In New York, takes more than combat gear to make a man. Takes more than a license for a gun. Confront your enemies, avoid them when you can. A gentleman will walk but never run. If manners make it man, and someone said he's a hero of the day. It takes a man to suffer ignorance and strive. Be yourself, no matter what they say.
You know you sing at home.
Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Englishman in New York City. I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York.
Now, growing up in the 90s, I would have loved these songs, and I'm sure those of you that know them will love them as well. So we got two songs coming up for you. We got I Wanna Know by Joe and Someone to Love by John B. and Babyface. Hope you guys enjoy.
It's amazing how you knock me off my feet. Every time you come around me, I get weak. Oh. Nobody ever made me feel this way. No. You kiss my lips and then you take my breath away. So I wanna know what turns you on. Yeah, I wanna know, so I can be all that and more. And I'd like to know what makes you cry. Oh, so I can be the one to always make you smile. Girl, he never understood what you were with. No. And he never took the time to make it worse. Deserve more loving, girl. Baby, I'm the kind of man who shows consent. Yes, I do. Any way that I can please you, let me learn. So I wanna know what turns you on. Yeah, and I wanna know, so I can be all that and more. And I'd like to know.
Warning. What you are about to hear goes against traditional romantic counsel expressed by friends, family, and Instagram memes and quotes. Open-mindedness is advised. Warning. What you are about to hear goes against traditional romantic counsel.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, and welcome to another edition of the Senate Podcast. I'm your host, Neil John, as always, my brother from another mother, and your host, Derek.
I said, hold up, wait a minute. All along, but her alone so sound. You can't make this shit up. Oh my God! To the streets. Stop the cap. Real talk. I said what I said. Nothing. It's not gonna work with me. Nah, go out. What you wrong, Mickey, look at this.
Yeah.
Yes, we are here.
Right.
And together we are here with another Senate Podcast. And then, of course, we have, beautiful ladies, women. We have Cherish. Cherish is our regular contributor. She is a mother. She is, I don't know if I should say relationship status. I really want one to humbug and be, I guess. But she will let you know if she wants to tell you all of that information. And then we have Dr. Carey. Dr. Carey, too. She will tell you as her relationship status, but you all know the doc. Well, I could say that the doc is taken. How things was all.
We're smoothing some things out. I was away too long, so I have to smooth those.
Oh, so she might be single. She might go open relationship. Well, that's
We are living
single. Oh, in the 90s kind of world. Anyhow, yes. How are we doing? Cherish? How you doing? You looking good? What's up?
Oh, well, thank you, Neil. I'm doing very well. Today wasn't bad, and I'm glad to be here. I've meditated and promised myself I will not be triggered by Derek Marshall. So the force is strong.
But you see, that shows that Derek is benefiting your life in some form or fashion as you have meditated today. How often do you meditate?
I'm saying.
As often as I need to. Once I get triggered, you then have to calm down.
Mm-hmm. That don't sound too often. It sounds like Derek doing you a service. That way it sounds like to me. It sounds like Derek has improved your life greatly. But anyhow, that aside, glad that you're good. Dr. Carey, you two are looking very ravishing. You look glowing, actually. You look.
Jeez.
I know you and Zoe got. Hey.
Zoe, they're heavy.
I know what you and Zoe got going on, but you're looking very nice tonight. Dr. Carey, talk to people. How you feeling? How you doing?
I'm good. Nice to be back as always. And I'm so happy that Cherish is with me tonight.
Yeah.
Even out the score, right?
Yeah, even out the score, no? All right. I just know that with Derek, he would never been that. Anyhow,
One can hope.
Derek, how are you doing, my brother? How is life treating you?
That's right. I'm here, man. I'm well here, waiting as what people would say. And I am ready to crank as always. Ready for hit price evening. Got a hand it some people. I am ready to rock. I am ready to trigger. And this is gonna be a good one tonight. This is gonna be a good one. How is everything in your neck of the woods, man? What's going on?
I'm all right, fair to find with a few partly cloudy showers. Lifing, as Mark would say. But all right, man. Overall, I think I am well. I just got some issues. I got some appointments that I gonna make because I gotta deal with some issues, But other than that, I hear cranking, we hear another night. It's some good people. Cheese on bread. My girl got she chai tea. This guy.
She gonna need everything here though tonight when they start the boil here.
She gonna start burnt incense that thing.
Yeah, burnt incense, sage, all kind of thing.
Anyhow, got get the ward off them bad spirits. Anyhow, Derek,
don't fast with class.
All right, let me
plain no.
Ask. Let us Let me do some housekeeping. Let me talk a bit about G-Syndicate. You guys would have heard a little snippet there of Ready to Blow, their virtual concert from last year. Derek, talk about G-Syndicate, how and where to find you six sweet sounding souls.
Well,
You did. Oh,
you can find us. Yeah, yeah, man. We had a little stick there just now. But I am here, and you can find the guys on gsyndicate.com. Find us also here on YouTube at G-Syndicate6, Facebook, Twitter, and SoundCloud G-Syndicate6. Also on Instagram at G-Syndicate6, but you gotta spell out the 6 on Instagram. And again, the hackers like that come more than us. So anytime you see that, just report it for us. So shout out to the guys, Kiamal, Vaden, Mark, Brett, and Hugh. I think some of them are doing a couple performances and stuff like that during the crop over season. So big up Kiamal for sure. I think Brett is in there as well. So big up the guys doing good stuff all the time.
Well, that's glad to hear it. And of course, we have the second edition of the King's Gathering coming up on Sunday, August 20th. So Derek, talk a bit more about that as well. Let me get that plug going on.
Yeah, man. The King's Gathering, the second edition, is going to be August 20th at the Ginger Lily Hall in the Bell Estates. So that's everybody. My name's Kevin and Lee. They're in here every night. So big ups to them. Big ups to them for opening the space and allowing us to be able to use it. We appreciate that. So come on out. We have our guests there lining up. Dr. Kerry is confirmed as well. Jiraiya is confirmed. More gloom and doom, as he calls it. And we're going to have more informative and productive sessions for you guys. For those who may be watching for the first time, I may not be aware of what it is not a session for men to get together and bash women. Both Dr. Kerry and the church could attest to that. That is not the purpose of the gathering. That's not what we do. We come together so we can build the community, because that's what it's about, building the community, empowering men so that men can then go out and impact their communities, right? And one person who's impacted their community is Avery over at Tamtar Culinary Creations. They have come on board and they are willing. They're going to provide some light, emphasis on the light part, refreshment for us at the King's Gathering, the second edition on August 20th at 6 p.m. at the Ginger Lily Hall. They're going to come on board and they've joined up with us, and they're going to, provide some light, something for you to eat, so that just to keep the evening flowing pleasantly, so nobody don't get dark eyes and catch bad fears and thing while you're staying down. You get here a lot. And then that's the thing. Ginger Lily Hall is air conditioned, right, folks? So you will be in comfort there. But we do not want any of you to be attacked by flatulence and then attack us with your flatulence in the Ginger Lily Hall, and then we all in there trying to clear it out. So we can try to break the air for you a little bit before the air build up too much, and then everybody in there running. When you decide to let go, we go let go. Also, it is the King's Gathering, not the Paro's Gathering. So please come suited and booted, dressed for the occasion. Coming out looking a certain sort of way. Because again, we're doing things on a certain level to ensure that we, again, build communities. We show him do this thing on a certain level, right? So Ginger Lily Hall, August 20th, 6 p.m. Come on out. Bring a friend, bring a family member or something.
All right. So now that we've done the housework, we have to do one final bit of housekeeping, and that is that you are indeed watching the Senate podcast. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. We do content for you 5 days a week. We bring you 5 pieces of content when the week come. We have the Senate podcast here every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. And then, of course, we have the Senate Shorts. We have over 200 of those. Those are short bits of content that can get a bit wild. We talk about the man-woman dynamic and everything around the place. So, check us out. Give us a like, comment, share, subscribe, hit notification bell so you don't miss anything. Like the content, share the content so we can build the content. And as I said, every Tuesday and Thursday, it is 8 p.m. and we are here. The lights are on. We have beautiful women. Life is nice. So, normally, Derek usually goes on social media, Facebook. Give us a like and a follow over there. Derek usually goes on our social media pages, and he would post what we're talking about next. And tonight we're talking about the mother. How single motherhood is a scam that is dismantling our communities. Now, when he sent me this, I was like, okay. So we cranking. We really getting in full swing, right? So, don't know further ado, brother. It's over to you. Let us get it while the getting is good.
Yeah, man. Big up Priya in the house, bring up my man Graves in the crank early. So thanks for coming through, people. We appreciate it. This is episode for sure. This is episode 220. 220 of the live stream, the mother. And as always, the cost of admission, the price of admission is just a like. So hit the like button on the way in. Don't do nothing for you, but it means the world to us. And we truly appreciate it, right? So just hit the like button. And please share these live streams and the content with people so that they too can be a part of the discussion. It's really good, interesting water cooler discussions at work. So you can feel free to share the discussions. Let the people curse me. You know, some more.
Yeah, curse there. Don't curse me.
Yeah.
Minute into that.
Yeah, they curse me. I don't know why, but Neil seems to escape the cursing, but hey.
Boy, not really, you know.
It don't really bother me these days.
That's what you say. I just don't take it on. Look, it's like a horn nowadays.
Yeah, it's only a matter if you take it on. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Anyhow, on Tuesday, we started talking about the importance of fathers. They are, you know, as individual tonight as well. So on the cusp of Father's Day 2023, and for those of you who didn't know, Father's Day is on Sunday coming. We found that out today for the children at school. So I felt it necessary to extend the conversation that we were having on Tuesday and dive into this particular topic a bit more. So without any further ado, as Neil said, let's get the intro clip, guys.
Yeah, everybody has the material.
Yeah, man, everybody sorted.
Everybody got coursework.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's get it. Let me try to make this a little. They're trying to got everybody. Give me one quick second here. So vertically and horizontal. Middle of the page. All right, so let's get it.
It has been the most challenging thing. There are nights I cry myself to sleep, like, what just happened?
Kim Kardashian is sharing that keeping up with 4 kids is no easy feat. The Kardashian star, who shares kids North, St. Sam, and Chicago with ex-Kanye West, is opening up about the challenges she has faced throughout her parenting journey. In a May 20th clip from the latest episode of the On Purpose with Jay Shetty podcast, first published by People, Kim opens up about the expectations and realities of raising a family.
What was your vision like for what you thought parenting was going to be like versus what it actually is?
Everyone says the days are long and the years are short. And that couldn't be like a more true statement. So like when you're in it, I mean, especially when they're babies and you're feeding and there's madness going on, it's like full madness. It's the best chaos though. Like my mornings, you have no idea what's going on. It's like, I always have to do one of my daughter's hair and it has to be perfect and it has to be a certain way. And then this one needs me to put his shoes on, and that they all need you. And it's like full crazy madness, cooking, running around. Like it's wild. That's why I need my workout in the morning, just to like prepare for the 2 hours of craziness.
The 42-year-old goes on to note that parenting has taught her a lot about herself, but it's not always an easy process.
Everybody loves a good comeback story. Vince McMahon and the WWE have made billions of dollars over the past 40 plus years selling comeback stories. The babyface hero starts the encounter delivering the just desserts to the villainous heel, but due to some act of skullduggery, the heel seizes the advantage for most of the match, and our babyface hero is required to put out all of his resolve and determination to get a painstaking victory as good triumphs over evil in the end. We've all grown up, we old enough to remember Hulk Hogan, you raise your hand and the hand drop down, the referee raise your hand again, and then he's raise your hand, drop, and then he's come up and hold your hand and start a Hulk out and all that stuff. Remember that, right? In our modern day communities, we love a different kind of combat story. Yes, we all love the idea of the strong, independent woman who don't need no man. And when I say that, by the way, as I prepare for these things, I type out notes on my phone, right? And my predictive text now, anytime I write strong, independent woman who don't need no man, it comes out in the predictive text. But that's on the side, right? We all love the idea of the strong, independent woman who don't need no man. But more than that, we love the idea of the strong, independent, single mother. We love the story of the mother who works 2 jobs to make ends meet, who puts it all on the line for her children, right? And it don't just, normally it's only just one, to be 1 or 2, one of them get in trouble. She just holding it together, you know? We love this idea. We love this story. In the end, these children are supposed to be upstanding, responsible members of society who are grateful for all that their mother would have sacrificed in the name of ensuring they had everything they needed. Now, the beauty of this is if the fairy tale ending becomes a reality, invariably the mother gets all the credit. We all stand and cheer as her now adult child regales us with tales of how the mother fought against all odds to raise a successful child. Let's have a listen to one such speech from our boy from Tuesday night, Zion Williamson, on draft night.
Let us get it. All right. So, on screen, let's get it.
I don't know what to say. I didn't think I'd be in this position. My mom sacrificed a lot for me. I wouldn't be here without my mom. She did everything for me. I just want to thank her.
Your mom was your coach when you were coming up. She coached you until you were 14. What are the sacrifices you feel as though she made for you?
She put her dreams aside for mine. She always looked out for the family first before herself.
Now, what I clipped off of that excerpt was the mother's response, because because you see her there standing in a suit that almost matches his, and her response was informative. She was particularly coach-like. Let me use that term. Particularly coach-like in her delivery and her stance and everything. No, that's the wrong word. I got the right word. I try to be as diplomatic as possible here, right? The right word, she was particularly paternal in her delivery. Right? That's the word I can use. Conversely, though, folks, if the results are far from stellar and that child becomes a bane to society, we hear that mommy did the best she could, as she is absolved of responsibility, while the absent father is attacked simultaneously, or worse yet, the stepfather has to come in and clean up the mess after the fact. We don't see mommy then, right? And for more proof, let's hear from our boy Zion's stepdad only last week, when his situation with, the sex workers started to unravel. So let's hear from Zion's stepdad. Before you hit play, Neil, please note. All right, matter of fact, I can say that after the fact. Go ahead. Let's watch Zion's stepdad.
All right, let's get it.
I want to say this, and I want to be politically correct when I say it. As my son, and I love him. When I was a child, I walked like a child, talked like a child, did childish things. But when I became a man, when I understood, hallelujah, then God blessed me. So all I'm going to say this morning, believe half of what you see and nothing you hear. That's all I'm going to say. I stand by my son 100%.
There you go.
I wasn't always where I am today. Come here, son.
So, a whole lot of nothing, really. But I found it interesting. My guy declared very proudly that's his son, right? It's his son. He's his stepfather. That's his son, right? I want you guys to go back to the clip before this one that we just watched. Where was he on draft night? Where was he? He's so proud of his son. Where was he on draft night? He was conspicuous in his absence. But when the shit hit the fan and they need a representative, up pops Danger Mouse. Here I come to save the day. And he got to defend this man. He standing at his back with his head down. Mommy nowhere to be found. Now, I just thought I would highlight that because that is not the main crowd we want to deal with tonight, right? So as I shift gears to this next part of the topic, let's revisit a video that we showed only a couple of weeks ago. When they say a couple, you know it ain't 4 weeks ago, right? This is this young lady. She's on a podcast. And neither time when you see a lady on a podcast, we not even think, some ignorance coming. So let's hear what this young lady has to say.
All right, shout out Austin, shout out Jason, Shane, Rian. Good night, everybody. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Ruben, I see you. All right, let's get it.
Mom, before I be your wife.
Really? That is very interesting.
Wow. I just rather cater to a child than
a husband.
And when you're a wife,
you don't need to get
no, but when you just think when you're a wife, you're a mom. You still have to find time to be yourself, and I'd rather just find time to be a mom and just be myself as of right now.
Okay.
And
well, I get it.
It's just I'd rather be a mom right now. So
that's a very interesting point of view.
Yeah.
No, I get the take. I respect.
I was having a conversation with Kevin. Big up my man Kevin. Is Kevin here yet?
I ain't see
it. But Kevin and I were having a conversation recently. He sent me something and then he was telling me he realizes that these days young women don't want to be wives. They don't mind being a mother, but they certainly don't want to be wives. And that young lady told you just not shoot, it's still at work, right? And believe it or not, I actually came across this myself with a young lady who asked me to essentially be a sperm donor. Yes, I was to provide sperm, but have no interaction with her or the child that my seed would reproduce. Yeah, as in this Barbados. We like doing things backwards as a community. The challenge we have here, folks, is that we have bought into the belief that a man is not necessary in the creation or maintenance of a family structure. And if your mother is a strong, independent woman who don't need no man, then she got money, then we definitely don't believe that there's a need for a man, certainly not a husband. The fact of the matter is, though, nothing could be further from the truth. We heard Kim Kardashian at the top of the show. If billionaire Kim, with all her assets and money around her, has moments when she wants to run and hide, because that's what she's really saying, right? When she's sleepless and all kind of thing. She's a billionaire for us, legit billionaire. She got assets and money, resources on which she can call to help her with her situation. If she has those moments where she can't sleep, she feel like it's madness, what about those women out there who don't have those resources upon which they can rely? Don't fool your foot, people. Men provide the order and structure necessary for the protection, rearing, and yes, survival of children. They also provide a calming presence when it comes to the disciplining of the children. But we like to dismiss the importance of that contribution until it get hard. We like to glorify the single mother life without understanding that being a mother is hard because, as Kim Kardashian said it never turns off. Ladies, if I tell any truth, put some ones in the chat. Being a mother never turns off. These fathers who's got a little bit different, right? Being a mother never turns off. Kim Kardashian said it. It is a constant stream of madness, mania. Here's the thing. She was sitting there looking cool under fire, well coiffed and everything. But not all single mothers are able to pull that off. And when they can't pull it off, we get videos like the ones you are about to see. Folks, brace yourself. Let me say that again. Folks, brace yourself for these next 3 videos.
Get it. All right, ladies ready? All right, let's go.
I didn't want to be a single mom. I don't deserve to be a single mom. My babies deserve to have their dads, but their dads ain't shit. I'm so tired. Like, I want a helpmate. I want a husband. I want somebody here to give me that breath, to give me that break, to give me that breather, to give me that space away from my babies. Because family members can only do so much. Like, I'm tired of changing diapers. I just want a break. I just want to be able to walk out the door and just do what I want. But I can't. I can't because my time revolves around them. I deserve a break.
My son is not coming home today. At this point, I don't even know if I want him to ever come home. I really hate his dad, and it makes it so hard for me to like and care for him the way a mother should. Y'all will probably drag me in my comments, but I have to live in my truth. My baby daddy was bragging about how he took my virginity, and he kept bringing up old things that aren't even co-parenting related. So I told him that I fucked his best friend first, and that I never cared about him. I hate co-parenting with him because he won't let go of the past. We've been broken up for 10 years now, and honestly, being with him is one of my biggest life regrets. But how do you look your own kid in their face, knowing that it's impossible for you to fully love them the way a mother should because you hate their dad? The disagreement was so stupid and simple, but it resulted in my son showing up to school 4 hours late. Usually I would remove him from that situation, but this time, instead of taking him away, I'm making him stay.
Why does everybody want a baby and a baby mama and a baby daddy so fucking bad, bro? Like, people change, babies grow up, and kids do not go away. And neither does your baby daddy or baby mama. You're gonna be tied to them no matter what, bro. No matter what. You come to become a grandparent, they become a fucking grandparent. Your kid graduate college, they ain't gotta be there. If it's somebody that you hate, if it's somebody that you detest, if it's somebody that you really, you don't want to have a kid by them, if it's somebody that beats you, that disrespects you, like whatever the case is, like you don't. Having a child is not a joke, and I don't see enough people talking about it. Y'all always trying to glamorize parenthood. Talk about the downs, bro. People need to start talking about the downs to save the younger generation. That's how you break generational curses. That's how you stop them. You wait, and you have kids when you're ready. You wait and you have kids by somebody that you know, somebody that you love, somebody that you're compatible with. That's how you do it. I love my son, don't get me wrong. I love my son so much, but this shit is so hard. This is the hardest shit I've ever had to do. It's raising a child. That's the hardest shit. You can't compare it to this shit, bro. Nobody ever talks about the downs and how hard that shit is. Like, I need a break so bad, bro.
And the only person that can help me is my worst enemy. I gotta send my baby with the person that I hate the most, somebody that I just want to forget. And it's a chapter in my life that will never close. Ever. This baby daddy, baby mama shit is not cute, bro. There's nothing cute about it. And that's like a real live connection, a connection beyond spiritual, because you're sharing the same legacy. You're giving this person a piece of your legacy. Your grandkids, great-grandkids, great-great-grandkids, they're all gonna tie back to that relationship, that fuck that you had with somebody. So fuck wisely.
Yeah. So that was that kind of video. No, Aston, you're not bad because you don't really feel much either. You just understand it for what it is. Anyhow, both of those ladies expressed how toxic the respective co-parents they chose were and the desire to escape their current set of circumstances. There was nothing glamorous in what they recounted in those clips. Nothing. No, in the past life, I used to have relations with a lady who said that she used to love to be with me because I provided her an escape from parenthood, even if only for a few minutes. She wasn't someone's mother when she was with me. She was just a woman. Now, fellas, this is something that we need to recognize and appreciate. Sometimes your girlfriend, wife, significant other will need, not want, need to get away and just be a woman. Now, here's the thing, right? Women, you could, if I tell you the truth, women, you could put some words in the chat here too. Women don't want to admit this for fear of being labeled a bad mother. But very often, women want and need to escape their children. And for those of you who don't want to say that to your children, I'll say it for you. Children, this part of the program is for the children. Call them up fast, let them see this here before they go sleep. Children, your parents don't want you in their face and space all the time. And if they tell you that, they're lying to you. Trust me.
Trust me.
Yeah? You can go back to your bed now, kids. Parents, under the sound of my voice, you can play that part of the video for the children who would have missed it. You as a man, you need to be able to facilitate that for the sake of peace in your home. So here's an inside tip. Chaos doesn't have to be a bad thing. Not even the best of women want constant structure and order without the opportunity to engage in a little bit of chaos. So if you as a man can find a way to facilitate your partner being just a woman, you may find that your home is just a bit more pleasant. So that was an aside. Let me get back to the main point as I wrap up. Let us start doing things in the right order. You can't get the children and then try to build the family. It can't work. Let us start pursuing relationships in a serious way from the start. Don't let me just try to fool and then try to work out the serious part after things have already gotten serious and we got children and all that stuff, right? And having said all that, please note, folks, I am not above all this advice myself, right? There's still things that I try to incorporate in my very own life. Let us pursue the things we know are necessary to build and maintain a solid family structure, because with solid families comes solid community. Yeah, we gotta approach it that way. We can't try to work out things after the fact. Those ladies in those videos, crying snot, eating snot and all kind of thing, but yeah, you chose poorly. You chose poorly because you can't turn around, choose them man and turn on top of the man shit. Why you choosing shit? Sing. Yeah. Why you choosing shit? So let me build solid families first so that we can build solid communities. Unfortunately, though, for those of you who might want to think otherwise and think that we don't need men, the solid family is, in fact, more than just the children and the mother.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are indeed watching the Senate podcast. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit notification bell so you don't miss anything. Like the content, share the content so we could build the content. To that end, we have, I'll get the likes up a bit. If you are watching, if you're liking the content, and give us a like. Shoot, even if you don't like the content, give us a like, because discussions like this are what are necessary. I mean, this can be a hard one. No, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. These sort of conversations can be hard, but we ain't gotta do it. Anyhow, let me switch gears here from the standpoint of, Cherish obviously is a single mother. And I am sure, Cherish, you can empathize with a lot of what was said in some of those videos. Not all. Don't out your business. I just saying that some of those things you can speak to, especially with Kim Kardashian and how challenging it could be. She got 4, and as far as I understand, the 3, we only got 1. And I can imagine for you, you would have seen some very challenging days, particularly when your son was younger and stuff like that. So, speak to, one, the challenges of being a single mother and the feeling. Do you agree with the feeling that some of these women have, some of these mothers have? And secondly, speak to what Derek was talking about in terms of making sure that you kind of do things the right way, understanding that sometimes you get with people and they show the true colors after the juggling, or they only say what they need to say to get in the drawers, and then do what they gotta do.
Okay, Neil. Can I start with asking, what do we think a single mother is? Because for me, I don't classify myself as a single mother. My son's father is very much in his life. If I needed help right now, he's a phone call away. So my son always has that masculine energy within his life. So I define what a single mother as somebody who has to play the mother and father role because she doesn't have access to that. She may have a brother, uncle, grandfather, but it's not the same. Mm-hmm. So more of the responsibilities lie on her. So from that point of view, I can't speak from it because we do everything 50-50 when it comes to our son. So to give him that balance. However, I can relate to some of the feelings because when you have a newborn child, especially your firstborn, you literally do not have a Google search. When the child comes out, you're given that baby and you have to start rolling with it. And sometimes some women can handle it and some can't. Some women are in healthy relationships with their husbands or partners, but they still have that lead on to postpartum depression or the culture shock of now having to take care of household, husband, child, and their self. So it makes it hard. And then even if you have your partner, you can still find that depression happening. So I can speak to that because at some points in time, I thought I was failing. I thought I couldn't do everything. And you need that help and that guidance. And if you don't identify it properly, then you can take it out on your partner. Now, the swing of things now is, have you chosen the right partner? That's where some of these women now have now discussed, okay, I hate my partner, he's a deadbeat, this and whatever not. But the secret to life is, if you want to get everything you want, you need to have some form of a structure. And you can't have a child by yourself. It is not possible because it is hard to raise that person into a human being. And I find that women want I also use social media, but like they want the Instagram pictures of, oh, this is my baby and he and I are twinning or she and I are twinning. But really and truly, that's a human being that needs both parents. So you could be a Kim Kardashian or somebody on welfare. Your child needs both parents in their life. And I don't believe in that single motherhood if you don't have unless you don't have the choice, in my opinion. So to get what you want, pick a better structure. Find somebody who's dependable that you can rely on, because there will be days where sometimes that depression or the juggling of just life in general will hit you. And for me, it was a hard task because I was also juggling work, studying, and doing multiple different things and raising a toddler, and it was not easy. So you need to have a partner. If not, you will freak out like those women. And that is sad. And mental health is important. If you don't deal with your mental, you cannot function. And I think these women, they are turning their bad choices into a painful regret before they start to deal with it. And your child needs you. And for you to look at your child and say you don't want to be around them, that's a big sign for you to say, I need help. And I hope that lady in that video did get the help, because that's something serious.
Cherish, I ain't gonna lie to you, right? You have just given. I feel like we could done the show now. Like, in all seriousness, so thank you very much for the distinction between single motherhood and co-parenting, because I think that I do appreciate the fact that you made that distinction, because as much as technically you are not married, you're not with your son's father, you would be classified as a single mother. But I am glad that you put that distinction, because how we view single motherhood is you literally don't have help or support, or you have minimal help and support. And when you put that out there, and I'm sure Derek can attest to this, we would not say that our children's mothers are single mothers in the true definition of the word, because just like you said, shoot, my son's mother could call me now, tell me XYZ need, and I would be like, yeah, I gotta go. You know what I mean? So I appreciate everything that you just said. I appreciate you making the distinction, and I appreciate the fact that you brought the mental health aspect of it, because you said structure and a bit of discipline should be there as well, because I understand sex has been. You know what? Let me go to Dr. Carey, because I think Dr. Carey can speak to this a bit more based on where you come from. Yes, Dr. Carey, you're on the panel, so we got. We ain't come here for you to smile, look pretty. Come, you gotta get involved, get your hands dirty. No, I know in some of the work that you would have done, you obviously come across a lot of children, because you can now speak to the end result of this and how this falls on the children and their psychological development as they get older. So can you speak a bit about some of the issues that children will have when they don't have that two-parent household structure or anything like that, particularly when it is a situation where there's contention, there is hate, there's animosity, etc., etc.?
Mm-hmm. So there are a lot of things that I've seen. Children can act out in varying ways. So you can have children who witness the contention of their parents, whether it's people who are married or not. It could just be partners, right? And become very withdrawn, feel that the contention or the tension between parents, it's their fault as a child, and internalize that. Some children become very rebellious and they lash out at one or both parents because of the frustrations going on in the household. And again, they carry that with them. If you don't have ways in allowing your child in that type of dysfunction to process the dysfunction in a disciplined way, they can carry that through for a lifetime. And it disrupts their ability to have healthy relationships with people, right? And I say healthy relationships with people, period. I'm not, because I know how some people hear the word relationships and immediately think boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. I mean, across the spectrum of relationships, children can develop very hostile ways or very antisocial ways of dealing and engaging. So it depends on what the circumstance is, but a lot of children can internalize what has happened in the household and manifest in different ways. So just a quick general sum up of that for you.
All right, thank you very much for that. No, I think there's a comment here Justin is making, right? Justin Clark. He says, wait, hold on. Many give up on it, which is why it's easy for many to say that they don't want to be a wife and a mother. As for men, we need to realize that our role in the relationship becomes more challenging because our partners are dealing with way more stress as a direct result of childcare. The duty and obligation which is inferred by marriage tends to be a great influence when dealing with the rearing of children. I just wanted to make mention of that because there's obviously some merit to that. Now, I think that when we talk about the badge that women wear as single mothers, right? Particularly when it goes well, because there was a video, I think Derek would have sent that to us last month, the group chat, where this man, I think he had some mental issues. A young man had some mental issues, and he was, I guess, doing things around the neighborhood that warranted the response of the police. And the mother was making this appeal, like, the father was a deadbeat dad, and the father wasn't around to guide him and be responsible for him, etc., etc., etc. And this goes back to what Derek was saying. When everything goes well, and this is not, I want to be clear, this is not for every woman, this is not for every mother, right? But I'm saying the resentment part of it is very it is very damaging, because you then say, oh, when it goes well, that's my son, that's my boy, work 2-3 jobs. And then, of course, the child, having appreciated, like Zion and the sacrifices, of course, his mother should get the adulation for coaching him until he was 14. Because if you don't know his story, he used to get up at 5, 6, 5. At the age of 5, he used to get up at 5, 6 o'clock before, and he would train ball handling skills, both hands, do exercising, calisthenics, everything like that. Because he said he wanted to be an NBA player, he wanted to be a professional player. So his mother would have started him on that journey to do that. So of course, single mothers do deserve their adulation for sacrifice and doing things to make sure that the children are raised. But there is something to be said for the accountability for when it goes wrong. Because we know in some of these situations, yes, we know some of these fathers ain't shit. We know that. We know they got some men that just be in it to win it. Just be like, yes, I love you. It's all about love and thing. But then when the baby comes, it's be too big for them. They start doing nefarious things and just be dead. Just drop it. It's good for milk. That's the thing in the United States. It's good for milk. And then we don't come back. We don't see children, right? But I think that there is something to be said for the accountability, because some women push away, make it very hard for the child's father to be involved. Like, for example, Derek, you sent me a video where this woman raised the child support of a man because he was seeing another woman. Like, they're broken up, they're done, so they're co-parenting, right? He's on child support, right? But he obviously has a new girlfriend or whatever. He's going about his life doing what he needs to do, and she made sure that the child support monetary payments were increased. And she was taunting him after the court day, like, yeah, look, you got to pay $1,800 a month. You imagine all the things I could buy, like all the trips I could coupon, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So there is some of those women that are the problem in the reason why the father is not around or anything like that. We obviously understand in the man-woman dynamic, relationships go off the rails. We understand that, with good intent, you want to be married, you want to do things the right way, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You're in love, as Dr. Carey would say. But what ends up happening is that, it doesn't work out for various reasons. My situation, some people, because I could talk from my situation, I think some people, they don't adapt very well. Because you can mentally prepare for a baby all you want. You could financially prepare for a baby all you want. You could get your life ready for a baby all you want. But when that baby come and it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you only sleep 2-3 hours and that baby screaming, right? And you gotta get out early in the next morning, right? That's a real test to see what kind of people you are and how you interact with that. Cherish, she made a very good point of how to take care of home, husband, child, and self. So the priority now is child. The priority should be child, yourself, husband, and home. But the child takes up so much of that. After you deal with the child, shoot, you barely got time to do anything, right? So I just want to make mention of that. Derek, as men, I think that there is something to be said for our roles in this situation. Obviously, between you and myself, we do, I think, a pretty good job of being there for our children and for the mothers of our children. But still speak a bit about the importance of, even if you're in a relationship, even if you are together, you're a man or woman, husband or wife, whatever, and you have a child, speak to the importance, as Justin was alluding to men recognizing the burden women go through and mothers go through in child rearing, especially in those earlier years, and how men should truly be cognizant of that, step up, and be a bit more understanding and filled with grace.
Yeah, that is critical, really and truly. It is going to help with the. I was fortunate because I had obviously that particular relationship with the woman said, sometimes she just needs to get away. So I understood it from that perspective. So then when I found myself in the situation now of being a father, I was able to be, all right, cool. I could step in here, I could assist here, and kind of make the burden, as you call it, a little bit lighter. And that is critical. Unfortunately, as Cherish said earlier, you don't get into Google. You can't Google what to do when this child crying at 2:00. You can't Google that. Yeah. You don't know. And what might work for me may not work for you, may not work for Cherish. So, because it's 3 different children going on there, and you're going to need your own approach that's going to work. For instance, I used to put Eden in the car. We go for a drive. And it just go on the block. And she out. She got older, that didn't work. But, so then we had to adapt. We had to find something else to do. I know she's at an age where she don't sleep at all. But, you adapt, you try different things, you try to make it work. So it's important for men to understand that, you got to be able to pitch in. But I think the problem we have as men, sometimes we just genuinely do not know what to do. Nobody's taught us, nobody's told us. We have no clue. And then, sometimes you be like, I want to break this baby. So that's a big fear. I don't want to break this baby. So it's like, she's on, I don't know what to do here. Let me just stop once. Say, here, you got it, handle it. Yeah. But then that could kind of start leading towards building resentment. So it's important that men kind of recognize that, like, anything you could do here can be gratefully appreciated. But we like to think so. At this point, if it's a case where, let me wash some bottles, let me lift up this baby, let me go and change it. Something.
Do something.
Yeah, do something that kind of just ease a little bit of the pressure. No. Yeah, I'll stop there. I'll leave it there. Leave it there.
Can I jump in?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm loving the conversation that Justin highlighting in the chat. And this is something too that is, it's a sensitive aspect of parenting dynamics, particularly for households where it's the single father or the single mother. Yes, predominantly we are aware of and often see the single mother scenario, but there are some single father scenarios, right? There are quite a few. We just don't talk about them, nor do we applaud them, right? And some single fathers are out there holding it down real well and need to be recognized and applauded. there's some dangers of this that Justin highlighted, and I was waiting to see if it would go there, and I'm glad he brought them up. There, and you guys have heard me say this before, women cannot raise men. So that dynamic of a mother with her son type of thing, like the clip you played, where the lady was crying on the sofa and saying her son isn't coming over, that dynamic I have seen so many times of women having a deep love for their son, but also this underlying resentment, because oftentimes the son looks so much or behaves so much like the father. And so there is this tension that brews over years with mothers and their sons. There's also the dynamic of the son becoming no longer a son as he grows, but more of a partner. And I've seen that dynamic happen a lot of times with sons and mothers. And the mother, defaults to depending on her son as she would depend on a husband, right? So those things can really shift the ways in which men then are able to navigate relationships of their own.
Husband dynamic.
Yes. Which is why I am so adamant about men who have sons raising their sons, even if they're not with the mother of the son. Like, there comes a point where that boy needs to be under your roof. He needs to be with you, right? I don't care what anybody tells me. And I know some mothers may be like, no, you can't take away my baby. And he needs to go to daddy. There is a point where that needs to happen, right? There's a lot of pressure that is put on us as women to just take care of everything when it comes to a child. And it is what happens by default, because society says that is just what women do, right? And just like Derek said a while ago, there's no playbook. It's not like you push out this baby and it's a playbook that says, here's how you take care of Jaquan. Here's how you take care of Kendra, right? That's not how that happens, right? Everybody is doing this fresh. I don't care if it's your first child or your 15th child. There is a fresh process that has to take place because every child is different. And when it comes to children who have different needs, that's a whole nother playbook that's added, right? But there is a standard thing that I want people to understand and respect and appreciate, that you as a mother cannot raise a boy on your own. You as a father cannot raise a daughter on your own. You can't raise a woman on your own. Those things, it just doesn't happen. And when I'm saying it like that, I'm meaning it doesn't happen in the sense of healthy balance, right? You can raise a child, but that child does not develop a healthy understanding of balance and identity and relation. Some people will always argue against me on this, but I've done enough work to witness what happened.
Argue with your mother. That's what I really mean. That's what I really mean. I've done enough work. AKA argue with your mother.
Argue with your mother. So it's important to raise this, because 50% of the households in Jamaica are single mother households, right? And we hear time and time again, particularly for mothers who have sons, when the son goes out and does something, shoot up a whole bunch of something, kill off whoever, rape whoever. Oh, but he was such a nice boy. Lord God, me one son.
Not my son.
Right?
That had a collect so that years ago. Not my son.
We hear all those stories and the drama behind it. But it is very important to pay attention to fundamentally the choices that we are making as people. A lot of us get into situations and look good. This person feel good with me. Cool. We go and do this. We have one or two conversations about a baby. We have one or two conversations about a marriage and think that we've covered all the bases. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And then all of a sudden, hold on, didn't we have the conversation? Why we're not together, right? There are levels of accountability that people will just never step up to. And we fool ourselves, as Derek was saying earlier, don't fool your foot, right? But we do. We sure do fool ourselves into thinking that it's all going to work out in the wash. When the baby comes, he'll change. He'll stay with me when the baby comes, because right?
Dare to say the baby is a new prenup.
I said it. I
Oh,
told
sorry,
you.
I'm
Dr.
sorry.
Kerry said it.
All
Dr. Kerry said it.
right. Sorry. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. Dr. Kerry is who told me that baby is a new prenup. I can't remember.
But
Sorry.
it is a truth. And there are lots of us as women out here still in that vein of, I go and get him a baby and he's going to be with me. He is going to be with me when this baby comes. A lot of us as women still have that mindset. And so I tell guys all the time, be careful how some of these women are stepping to you, because a lot of us are still wrapped up in some, I can change him. I can change him. I'm different from his last girlfriend, yada, yada, and all that. So I definitely
All
want
women take the special, you know.
Huh?
A lot of women take the special, you know.
Yeah, a lot of us think we're very special, and you're not.
You really are not.
I see Justin here saying women also tend to protect their children rather than hold them accountable. So let me share a quick story that I witnessed yesterday at work, right? So a parent turns up to celebrate her son's birthday. Now, don't judge, but I taught the parent at the same school. So when she came, we were talking for a little bit. Her son's class comes up with their teacher, and they're having a discussion. The teacher and the parent, two women. I'm sitting there. This is called to me, so I just watching, right? And I like to approach life these days with the mantra, what is my role here? Very often you will find that you don't have a role and you stay out of it. So my role was to stay out, but I watched them nonetheless because they were right next to me. So this little boy apparently was getting real trouble during the day, right? Birthday, he out to all. Mommy turned up with snacks and cake. You know, he excited. So the teacher is saying, you know, to the mother, yeah, but my mom behavior stink today, so you know. No. I was hoping that that's where it would have gone. She was just, you know, lamenting the fact my mom behaving bad. And I was there thinking to myself, okay, one of the two of you, please suggest that there be no party for this little man today. One of the two of you, please do it. Neither of them did it. They both felt, you know, yeah, he behaves stink, but there, just a gay party, you know. And I smiled to myself. They went inside, everybody had a grand old time. But, you know, I was thinking, like, for me, one of two things would happen. Either they carry home my things, and he would get a party, or he would get a party, but he would cut your ass right there. But that's me, right? That's me.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I watched that with my own two eyes.
Yeah.
Only yes. Yeah.
I agree with you on that. That we tend to this happened in my family dynamic. So my dad made the hard decision to send my brother off to boarding school when my brother was 11, 12. Like right as he was getting ready to start high school, my brother sent my brother off to a boarding high school in Jamaica. And I will never forget the nights my mother bawled, right? My brother is my mom's last child. And the wash belly syndrome. So it's like devastation. This is the end of the world for my mother to take away her son, her one and only son. Oh my God. And my brother, of course, was also quite disrupted by that transition as well, because we were very, very tight as a family. We had a certain structure and routine. However, for my dad, it was leaning towards that potential of my mother not holding my brother accountable as he was becoming a young man. And so my dad was like, cut this shit out. He gonna learn, right? You gonna learn today, type of thing. And so my brother went off to boarding school for 3 years. My brother's experience, for him, it was rough, it was disruptive, it was not something he would tell you was, you know, the best time of his life. However, the man my brother is today is epic. It's like he does what he needs to do. He is disciplined, he's structured, there's a routine to him. And he learned that because he went off and experienced what it was to be like a man, to grow into being a man with other men, right? And those are some hard decisions that parents make. And we as children don't necessarily understand why at the time, but it works out in the wash if you have the proper structure and supports to make it happen. I mean, my dad could have just sent him to boarding school and just like dash him away kind of thing. But there was a structure and a love to that process as well that worked out in the wash. So I agree that there's so I'm saying the mother-son dynamic can become dangerous and toxic if there is no masculine energy. Like I'm glad she's co-parenting positively with the father of her son, right? So there's a balance that is being maintained as her son is growing and will learn accountability and discipline from the reality of a man. When we don't have that as women who choose to be single mothers, because apparently we're forgetting that this is a choice. These women that we watch videos with, then it becomes a very dysfunctional and disruptive thing if there's no healthy balance for the children to experience.
All right, ladies.
And that's
Go ahead,
why,
Cherish.
right, that's
Go
why I
ahead.
don't understand that lady that said she would choose to be a mother rather than a wife, because she really doesn't understand what she's undertaking. Because mothers nurture, fathers discipline, and what she's basically saying is, I can do bad all by myself. However, this child comes out, it comes out. And I'm like, so you basically being selfish to another human being that don't even exist as yet, that doesn't want to be here. And it's like, why would you do that? Why do you invest your time and energy for something to come out badly? Why? Children need both sides of their parents, and that it will fail. And as you said, if mothers can nurture a child so much that you can turn a man into a soft-spoken person and put him out into society, and where does that leave him?
I love that diplomacy. A soft-spoken person.
Hey man, I appreciate that.
I appreciate it.
I
Look at
appreciate
him,
that.
Castle.
Okay, yeah. That could have gone 10 different ways. But why was right? Sorry. So why would say is this, right? Because there is something I want to speak about in terms of single parenthood, the true definition of single parenthood, and the mother or father not being in the child's life. Because what we see in society now, particularly on social media, etc., is that a lot of women, single mothers, were dressed and have their sons being like the man they want. If you understand what I'm saying, I think
Son husband, man. The son husband.
But there was a video that I think Derek you sent me again, or maybe I found it on my own, where this woman had a child. The boy wasn't even 2 years old yet, and he had 100.
You found that one?
Yeah, he had 100 and somebody pairs of Nikes and Jordans, right? Like, I mean, like literally shoes to the wall. Ma got shoes, right?
You see what's happening there, right, Neil? Is that you don't want to do the work necessary to be in a relationship or be in a marriage, whatever, with a man. So what you do, you get your own child and you pour that emotional energy into your son. Hopefully you get a son. If you get a daughter, no, the problem is you can't stand your daughter.
No, hold on a minute, right? Because yes, that's number one. I agree with you because you can't stand your daughter, but we've also
So now your daughter is you.
But we've also seen the flip side of that, where you are living vicariously through your daughter. No, you're dressing your daughter like a woman. You are exposing her to things like a woman because you would have gone through certain things, and shoot, we've seen it. We've seen mothers encouraging their daughters to walk up on little boys. We've seen mothers encouraging their daughters to dress provocatively, right? And this goes back to the importance of having fathers around children, both boys and girls. But I do want to have a discussion around that whole mentality that Cherish just brought back up in terms of the woman saying that she wants to be a mother rather than a wife. And as Derek, you just alluded to, women would rather pour into building the man they want, right? pulling that love and emotion into that boy, rather than one healing from trauma of having a breakup with the child's father or having it go the way it goes, and also not letting the child be a man. Because I see some little boys and thing walking about with big gold, like big Jesus piece, earrings, ears pierced, hair plait up, man pants side game, man going Tim's. And I like, this little boy is not even, the boy could barely walk. You got your boy at Tim's. Like, so I want to have that conversation around, and I can probably turn this over to Dr. Kerry and Cherish, whoever feels like going first, and y'all could kind of get into it. But the psychology of, or the importance of healing from the dissolution of the relationship with your partners, with your child's, for your partner is what you're trying to say. Speak on the importance of that, because we don't want to get lost in the sauce and say like that woman saying that she hate her son. No, she hate the father, and the son, obviously there's a resentment building up there. Speak about that. Anybody could jump in, feel free. Rock, paper, scissors?
I'll go first. That's fine. Well, from personal experience, I don't know the professional aspect of it, but any sort of trauma that you go through and hurt, you need to function as a human being first before being a parent. You have to take the steps to forgive yourself and the person for whatever happened, and then look towards the next set of goals that you need to attain. And that is raising a healthy, balanced child. And if you don't do that, then you get all of your negativity and bad energy and temper and everything get poured into that child. And the child will eventually suffer at school, at home, in social settings. And that's something that you don't want, because that person is growing into an adult now. So you have to go into yourself and do that hard work and understand that your relationship with your ex-partner has nothing to do with the child. The two are two different relationships, and the two require two different versions of you. And you need to be able to juggle that. That's why I say, like, your mental health is important, and you need to reach out and function accordingly with that. So if you at the onset, you're not a balanced individual, you don't recognize your own emotions on a daily basis, when that breakup happens, you shatter into 1,000 pieces. And what will you do at that moment? That child needs you, especially if it's a baby. It needs you for that instant. And whatever you put onto that child can come back at you in any scenario. So is a necessary thing that you need to spend time with yourself. Ironically, you might need to meditate. You might need to call a close friend. You might need to see a therapist, but you need to have some sort of help at the end of the day. If not, you and your child can suffer in silence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Terry?
Yeah, I completely agree with Cherish. And I want to kind of dig a little more on the doing the hard work, right? We've mentioned that phrase a lot in the past couple sessions, actually, of doing the hard work, doing the personal work. And we haven't gone into what it actually means. It means different things for different people. In this circumstance, when it comes to the ways in which people are choosing partners to have children with, right? Or choosing sperm donors, as Derek had mentioned earlier. There's certain things to pay attention to when we're doing that. When a woman looks at a man and says, I want to have children with this man, versus just looking at a man and saying, I want to be with that man. It's two different things, right? Two different things. Being with someone to bear a child, we're kind of looking for certain qualifiers. You're looking for genetic qualifiers, biological qualifiers, financial qualifiers, that type of stuff. For the most part, that's what we look for. If you're not in a complete ridiculous state and just drunk and having a one-night stand and being somewhat particular, you're looking for certain things. And you're looking for certain things sometimes based on what was comfortable for you in your childhood. So we've heard about kind of girls who are daddy's girls, daddy's little princess type of stuff. Some of those women, right, the daddy's girls, I'm a daddy's girl, but in a different sense. Some of those women are actually looking for men who replicate certain things of their father, right? And that can put a man in a very dangerous space. Some women are looking for things that are not like their father. And that's a more favorable space for a guy to be in, depending on, what danger she wants you to bring. So there, there is that. So I want people to also, when we're thinking about doing the work meaning unpacking some of the psychology, some of your decision-making processes for you to then lay down with someone and just bring forth a child. What were you actually thinking versus building a relationship with somebody? You look for certain things there too. A lot of us are walking with trauma. Everybody has some level, some degree of trauma. And a lot of times we are coping with our trauma by jumping from one relationship to the next. We seek comfort in sex. We seek comfort in attention. We seek comfort in the validation we receive from certain people. And
which is where these ladies have put their business
out on
social media.
Exactly. It's a level of validation and comfort seeking that you're looking for. And those things can be, as we can see, very dangerous as well. And it lends to what Cherish was saying, the added and compounded issues that people are bringing into things without dealing with them and unpacking. And you just carry trauma from one situation to the next to the next. And when you have a child, you impart that trauma on the child. You take out all sorts of things on children. So it is, when we're saying doing that hard work and paying attention to who you're with and why you're with that person, it is critical to consider those things. And many women are still here simply saying, as we saw in the video, just wanting to have a child, because not only does there's still this notion of I'm not a full woman if I don't have children. There's some women that believe that, right? God bless them. Then there are women who have the perception that if I have a child, then I'll always have somebody loving me unconditionally.
Correct.
That's also another facade, right? And then there's some women, if I have this guy's child, I don't necessarily have to be with him, but I will always have this man's provision, protection, time, attention, right? So you have to kind of, as Cherish is saying, do that work. Like, what is the situation that I'm about to go into? Why am I going into it? What does it mean for me, right, in the long run? Because a lot of us are just jumping into things, not thinking things through, but subconsciously we know why.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are indeed watching the Senate podcast. This is a very good discussion, but I do want to ask about the psychology of having, what was it? The psychology of having a child, and because we touched on it earlier, right? In terms of the importance of doing things a certain type of way, making sure you move with intent, make sure you choose and vet the right partner, et cetera, right? I mean, granted, it didn't work out for the three of us, but I think we did a good job of at least having somebody that, as Cherish said, is dependable, reliable, somebody that understands the importance of co-parenting and the focus being the child. So I just want us to have a conversation a bit about the importance of women deciding to not have, just like, not as Dr. Kerry was saying, one night stands or the sexual marketplace is is a free for all now, right? And children are a true consequence. It could be a very real consequence from something as simple as a one night stand or a casual relationship. So I want us to have this discussion around the importance for both men and women to make sure that even if you want to have a free up session, even if you want to have a casual relationship, still make sure that you're messing with someone that is not going to bring your life into ruination and have you build resentment not only for that person, but for anything that comes or transpires from it.
It's funny that you say it that way because I remember when I was in my 20s, and I had said to myself, well, okay, all right, now I'm in my 20s and I'm sexually involved with people. One of the things I remember telling myself was, do not sleep with someone that you'll feel badly making a mistake with. Right?
Yeah, man.
Mind
We
you,
all got some mistakes.
we all got something.
I was just about to say, like,
Yes.
at least
Mind
you were aware enough to make that statement to yourself.
I
It's hard to
made
live
that.
by it. I ain't gonna lie, all of we
I
find
made
ourselves.
sure.
Mhm.
I made sure to tell myself if there was any point in time that a condom broke or there was a one night stand, or a drunken moment, that the person that the mistake was being made with would still be somebody who I could deal with beyond that encounter, right? Whether it would be, and I mean, that is if the decision was to even have the child, if I got pregnant and the decision was to keep a child, that the person would be someone who I could deal with that situation with, right? A lot of us are just doing what we do because we want to have fun with somebody, but not necessarily thinking, well, damn, this fun could turn sideways. Is this somebody who I even want to wake up to for the rest of my life? Is this somebody who I want to problem solve with? Is this somebody who I want to cover with my particular P's
Is there someone you even like?
or would like, right?
See, look at the woman in the video.
You have to, yeah. So I remember making that serious like comment to myself in college. I was like, yeah, all right, cool. No, some people just not doing that.
But Derek, speak a bit. This is important because we men would do anything to get a little action. And we deal with it in the end like MacGyver trying to make, a missile out of like 2 rocks on a chewing gum, right? Speak a bit about the importance, because we always talk about dick discipline, and I think it's very important for us. There's dick discipline and there's pussy protection. We could call it that.
Punani principles.
Ooh, Punani principles. I love it. Right. Derek, speak a bit about the importance of the discipline part for men, because we know Future, we know Nick Cannon, we know some of these men out here literally wailing, just having children and thinking that is true legacy. But speak a bit about the importance of dick discipline and Panani principles.
Yeah, it is vitally important. It's not happenstance. I had my first child at 33 years old, right? That wasn't a fluke. You know what I mean? It's not a fluke. It's not a fluke that you only got one child. You don't think it's a fluke that church got one child either, right? And it's not that you're not having sex, but you're just using little sense and saying, you know what, let me not just go about this thing wild, because it's like the word ruination. They like that. That's like a fast track, especially for men. Multiple children is definitely a fast track to ruination, because if you're not with these women, and the reality is you can't be with all of them at the same time. So you might try your best, to spread yourself around, spread your 4 P's around, and split them between 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 women. I did my best, but I guess my best wasn't good. You simply can't. You simply can't. You physically cannot, right? So it's a case where you got to be a bit more circumspect in terms of, and let me be very clear. I am the last person on earth to tell anybody not to fool. The last.
Poop now.
Poop, no. Right? Big uncle. I am the last person on earth that would tell anybody not to fool. Right? But you've got to do it with saints, people. This man out with me. Right? Man, as Dr. Kerry said, if you know it ain't nobody that, if you pull out Greek game is strong, you gotta get God wear some condoms. I know them might be for chorus, but there's also for people that I know the condoms for chorus and people pull up gear week. Get some. And if you know that way, yeah, this is so this really ain't a woman that I want to deal with on a permanent basis for the next 18 years.
At least.
At least. And the woman in the video said it. She said, shoot, you could touch this person forever. Because if you become a grandparent, that person becomes a grandparent.
Same
you know
time.
what I mean?
At the
Same time. You and that person are attached. And I've said it on this show before. I was married for 4 years legally. Right? For 4 years legally. I have more of a relationship with my daughter's mother than with my ex-wife. That is the marriage. Because she's the body I'm going to interact with daily for the next however long.
So make sure everything right.
Weeks and months could go by. I did not hear my ex-wife. A couple days can't pass without me hearing my daughter's mother. They can't. I mean, not that I don't want them to. They can't because something got to be going wrong. You know what I mean?
Their responsibility.
2-3 weeks pass and now I something ain't right if that happened.
Even
you know
if you
what I
call in that chat and see how you're doing, yeah.
Yeah, you know, so that is critical, and that's for both men and women. That you got again. I ain't telling women that sex don't feel sweet. I ain't telling women not to fool. I'm not telling you to do that. But please, 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 be more circumspect. Do not pick up no dates. I'm talking about you want to scratch an itch, so you got them in at you. Do not do that. I think.
Please talk about sexual due diligence. Do your due diligence, period.
Yeah, and then you come back after you talking about these men ain't shit. No, you're choosing your selection process, your vetting is what ain't shit, right? See, I think for we maybe do it too. We be real. We do it too. We can't do something about horses. They tell us about these women in the use. This we picking.
They're winning in the Gold Cup.
Yeah, this we picking B. So we both men and women, we got to be a bit more circumspect. We got to think with the big head, fellas. When we gonna select who it is we want to be running up and through.
Yeah, and to me, it's not even about. To me, because somebody mentioned earlier about, I think it was Cherish talking about you being selfish, and there's another human being that hasn't existed there or whatever like that. But even if you are a selfish person or you're thinking only about yourself, think about your mental health, yo. Why would you want to have a child or a person you cannot, like you do not know, forget can't stand, right? I cannot imagine, right? Those that know me know how I believe in the condoms, right? You know, there to start condoms for covers, not me. Once upon a time, I used to represent Girex. I was a spokesperson for Girex. I could tell you that.
Right? I live that life too.
Right? But the reason why I say that is because I could not imagine having a child for someone that I was not certain about for long term. You know what I mean? Like somebody that
correct.
I can't understand. I can't understand the thinking. And there's some men, because watch it now, because some of the men there saw, I know a man, right? I know a man, right? That literally, I remember one time we was driving somewhere and man in my car, wherever we moving, this young fella, the man was in my backseat, my car, the man was like hollering at a woman outside, my sexy friend, whatever. I said, my man, ain't I so in here? And the man said, man, no, man, Neil, she look good, boy. She look real good, boy. She want breeding. So at first I was like,
yeah,
thought that was a joke, but they kept on talking. Thing. And I said, I don't understand, brother. You say, yeah, I would impregnate her just to have her. So I was like, what's he thinking? Some men think that impregnating a woman or multiple women means that you have them, that you always have access to them. Gentlemen.
Access to the house.
Access to the house, to the woman, to whatever. Gentlemen, it does not work like that.
Yeah.
Right? There are children involved. There are people involved. And because you have a child with a woman does not entitle you to any access to her house, her environment, anything like that. Like when the master saw right there, because it's a younger fella. Actually, you know who it is, but we'll talk that off camera, right? The man said it, right? And when the man said, I was like, so wait, because coming up in our time now, I don't know anybody around me that was talking about breeding a body. It was like, yeah.
Here's the thing, Neil. That is not a new thing, you know. That would have been coming up, but you have to be in particular circles to hear that.
Well, you know me. I don't. Dubs is fly with dubs. I didn't fly with no hawks that day.
You know what I mean? I play with everybody, so I share some of everything. I play with everybody.
But no, that particular situation was back in 2010, and that person said that, and it is messed up. I actually don't see Ruben saying it messed up, thinking by them. It is messed up because I cannot imagine seeing someone that I am attracted to. You know, like you see the woman look good. Shoot, fellas, you see a woman, women too, you see people that look good, like cheese or bread, boy. I would, you sit out to yourself, I would hear the bar. But I can't imagine saying, she looks so good, I would impregnate her. I can't imagine that. I
But
can't.
there's an intro to a Vibes Cartel song where he says, "Yo, Steven, the yellow belly too flat and too even." Yo.
But
yes, it is a mentality. It is a mentality.
Yeah,
You have 8 baby mothers. That means that you have 8 places to stay. 8 women will take you in to have sex with you at some point, sometime.
Damn.
That is the mentality.
That is Dr. Kerry, people that are watching, and I cannot. I get in a blue screen in my head. I can't process that.
Yeah.
I cannot.
But here's the thing, Neil.
I can't
told you
process
just
it.
now
Can't do it.
that kind of thinking has been around for a long time, and it does not just exist right here in Barbados. So the last video that I just sent you could put my up on screen for the people. For as you are watching the Senate podcast, this is episode 220. The motherhood single mother is a scam that is dismantling our communities, because we didn't even go into the numbers when it comes to prison population. In terms of the percentages raised by single mothers. So we didn't even touch on that tonight, because why? You don't need to. We've been over that. We beat that a pulp before, right? So it is a very pervasive mentality of glorifying single motherdom. I saw the guys glanced at it in the chat earlier, and I saw the guys talking about the fact that the child success kind of is like your mother's pension plan almost. Especially for those athletes and entertainers. There was a lady who, her son is a rapper, and she was in a host, she doing a little dance and thing like that, celebrating the fact that he bought a host for her. Now, my guy O'Shea covered it, and he raised the point. This is why we cannot build. Because I always got to, before I could go forward and advance my life, mommy didn't do things right. Mommy did things backward, because that particular rapper, whoever he was, can't remember the name, no father listed, father unknown, right? So when he goes forward, he didn't have that base coming up, so he forever looking back. He's the husband now. He's the man in the house. He got to protect mommy. He got to provide for mommy. So instead of going forward and building his own life, he got to reach back. He got to help mommy first, because mommy ain't got nobody to help she, right? But that was enough padding for me to give Neil the opportunity to set up the video that we're going to watch now. And this is from the original, not the final, the Pukia final boss. This is Nick Cannon doing an interview. We showed this one a couple weeks ago.
All right, the ladies have it. Y'all good? All right, cool. Let's get it.
Is there anyone who you dated in the past that you wish, like, you know what? I wish that we would have had a baby.
Everybody talks about having kids.
Yeah.
Man. Like, that's the thing, especially. But I think, see, if I say this, I know it's going to go viral. Okay. But even when you think about it, like when Christina Milian and I were doing Love Don't Cost a Thing. And like, I remember when I found out when I found out she was pregnant, did I have kids? I know, but I was.
Were you like, damn?
Yeah, I was like, dang, man.
That could have been me.
Yeah. Like, but I was so happy for it. But I remember that we was kids in love early on, you know, and so that, you talked about that, but, you know, teach his own life. Life plans it out. The universe gives it how it's supposed to be given.
That's wild. There is something I want to mention though. And this goes back to, it slipped my mind again, but it's really to do with having children. What was?
But where you catch your thought?
Yeah. You
My
go ahead.
my mind it kind of there. So we say in the video, everybody talks about having kids, right? Please note, there was no mention of marriage. There was no mention of family. Yeah.
Just want to hit it.
But you know
impregnate.
what was missing? Well, he didn't say out loud, but you know you got one of the little thought bubbles above your head. When he was like, he found out she was married, so jeez, I wish I could have breathed that. That is what it looked like he was thinking right there on that interview.
I actually remembered my thought now. Ladies, I do want to say something to y'all though, because we have to, and you know, anybody that want to talk about it, we could talk about it, we could get into it. But okay, so you've had your child or children from man or men, and it didn't work out, the men ain't shit, whatever, right? Stop seeking other men to give you a break. You want another relationship, but not because you want a man to build with or to love or anything like that. You want help. Like the woman that we played tonight, the woman in the glasses with the children in the background, she said she tired changing things. She said, you know, she just want to leave. She just want time. She want this and that next. There are a lot of women, and I want some people, I want anybody could jump in here. There are some women out there that literally want to have a relationship with a man because them just want help. Them just want a bill paid. They just want children babysit. They just want to be able to go and do them thing. They're not doing it for love, because I understand you're a single mother, right? I understand you have the urges task and thing. And yes, you want companionship and thing, right? But stop coming about the place saying that you want, oh yeah, I looking for love. I think you know, a man engage you and stuff like that. And so, and then you say, well, a man can't run me unless he pay for babysitter or unless he, you know, pay a bill or help carry my child somewhere or whatever. It's like, no, just somebody jump in there and talk about it.
So I want to jump in because my uncle sent me a video today, and Kevin and I were having a conversation, and then I sent the video to Kevin and I sent it to Derek. And the conversation was about the things women say to get men in trouble, right? Some of us as women will say things depending on the guy, right? Because we listen to how you talk, we see how you move, and we see how some men actually want to be married, right? There are men out here who want to be married, they want to have children, all of that. And so we'll ask certain questions and gain insights, and then we play into it, knowing that what we want is just your attention or your child, but not necessarily you, right? And there's that video. I'm sure Derek will load it one day and have a discussion about it. But there are women out here that will say things like, I want to marry you. I will, you know, help you with this, or we can do this together, and all sorts of stuff just to get a child, or just to get a couple dinners with you, or just to get, you know, a few nights of sex from you so that I can feel some level of comfort or validation for whatever period of time, right? And women would do this with multiple men. This is something that women are actively doing right now as we sit down here talking, right? And it feeds into the larger game of the idea that men don't have standards, right? And this idea that men can't control themselves, when really it is just this cycle of toxicity that we're all wrapped up in with each other, because nobody wants to sit down with themselves and take full account for the fuckery that you're actually perpetuating as an individual, and the traumas that you have endured, and why you feel the need to go and disrupt somebody else's life because you feel badly about some aspect of yours. So yes, I want a freaking helpmate as a single mother, because I made a poor goddamn choice, and now I need to make up for it. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to find Tony, Henry, and James to figure out how I can get dinner, lunch, and breakfast for these kids and myself, and a vacation here or two. Right? This is seriously how this is going. This is what's happening, right? And it all comes down to people not taking account on both sides. I think that sometimes men need to ask more questions of women, right? When women step to you in a certain way and say certain things like, but why though? Why me? Why would you want to have my child and not, Tony's child? Like, but why? Get that going. Ask women why. And if you see her freeze and the brain just goes haywire and it's game over, then just stop, move on to the next.
Parts of life. Anybody else want to jump in there? Anybody?
Yeah, I definitely want to jump into that because I think it needs to be said. When I said earlier, we like to do things backward. That lady is, case in point of that. She got her child and now she is crying. She wants to help me, whichever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
I see Tango Fox saying, hey, Tango Fox, you can help me out. Who's supposed to be help me? We got it turned wrong. We got it turned wrong.
It's on the Bible. Yep.
Yeah. So I don't tell me I believe in the Bible because that's what you can call it for. So we doing it backward all the time. And then we expect to get the right results.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's a real problem with this thing. Because we just want to reinvent the wheel. Yeah. Oh, it's 2023. This here old time and she can't do it so no more. And then we just got to find out, they got a reason that we use him make our squares.
Shout out the managers just come.
Yeah, big up the managers, man, for real. So we got really.
Go part saying.
And again we have this attitude that it's 2023, so I can do what I feel like. She looked good, so I can impregnate her. Mm-hmm. But that name, her name is being attached to your sperm forever and ever, right? If that child ends up in jail, they can call you. You understand? Is that you gotta think beyond the pleasure of it. And it's like, why are we giving our sexual energy to somebody that if I die tomorrow, that I would not be at peace with? Why? Is it worth that 30 seconds? Is it?
30 seconds, Jesus.
To work out on the screen spooch, man.
Dr. Carey, don't take much,
Right?
It don't take much.
And
you got the video there.
Right,
I want to go back to the at the beginning when Derek was talking about mothers seen as heroes. Single motherhood is nothing to be proud of. Like, that child is at a disadvantage when it only got one source of love, basically. Yeah. And I tell you, doing everything on your own is not pretty. It's not nothing to be proud of. You understand? And it's like, why would you wear that as a crown? Mm-hmm. It makes no sense. If you ask real single mothers that did not have a choice because, say, their partner passed away or whatever, they will tell you that it is not easy because they want the best for their child, and they do not have the energy to pour into 4 different persons at the same time. So Kim Kardashian could talk, right? But she got a maid, she got a cook, and she could pay babysitters.
I still can't sleep when they come.
Okay, then.
Oh, well, that's her choice. She picked up the wrong man.
Dr. Kaylee? Everybody know Kanye's a madman.
Yeah, but hold on a minute, though. Kanye's a madman, yes. I'm not disputing that. But I think that was a bit more planned than anything else.
Of course it was.
Right,
of course
because at the end of the day, right?
It's clout, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, we could say what we want about Kanye. We could say what we want. But Kanye at the time was an up-and-coming rapper. The man was one of the greatest of all time producers. The man was on the...
Wait. Was up-and-coming when? When he was with Kim Kardashian? No. He was well established. And Kim got established.
Right, so that's... Okay, so my apologies.
I made it worse.
But I make it worse. But that's the point you're trying to make. Because as much as you all say that it's her fault, I actually think it's both of their fault. Because
it's both of their fault.
Because there's no way that Ray J can release a song that says, I hit it first. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a little target, right? Gentlemen, if ever you find yourself in a situation where you are with a woman and she is known to the streets to the point where men could be saying publicly, yeah, I hit that first. I mean, no, I left it out, yo. I ain't saying Regia is a scumbag for doing that, but the point I'm trying to make is that ain't everybody supposed to take up. No, I don't want to take away from the conversation. Derek would have sent me something just now, a video that he wanted me to play that Dr. Carey would have sent. This is that video, right?
Correct.
All right. All right, Cherish, you got it ready to, right?
Yeah, man.
All right, so let me play that here real quick. Let's get it.
I speak for all women when I say this. We don't really want to get married. We'll tell y'all that just to see what y'all gonna do, because it puts y'all under pressure. But in reality, every woman has at least 5 men. And we're gonna make you feel like you're the only one every single time. But in our reality, we got James, we got Brandon, we got the old man Billy with a lot of money, and then we got Keyshawn. And then last but not least, we got you. Because as a woman, a black woman, white woman, Latina, we have to weigh out all of our options. That's why when y'all give us the ring and y'all finally get on y'all knees, we cry. We don't cry because we happy. We cry because now we stuck with you. In reality, we don't want to be stuck with one set of balls for our whole life. That's not what we want. And the only reason we would say yes is if that ring is nice and big. Because number one, we can pawn the ring when we're done with you and get that bag. Number two, if that ring is big, that means you really got money and you wasn't showing me the money this whole time. And that's why so many men go missing. Everybody on the news, where's my husband? My husband is missing. My 4th husband, right now they've been looking for him for 2 years. And all he had to do was sign the divorce papers because I, as a woman, will not be tied down to one man, one set of balls.
Cut.
Huh? No, I thought y'all said y'all wanted me to do a motivational speech for women, right?
All right, so yeah, comedy. Yeah, that was obviously tongue in cheek and stuff like that. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we are watching the Senate podcast. We did not even get Derek was saying we didn't get to even the incarceration rates from single parent homes. We also did not have the conversation about there was something else we didn't get. Like, there's a whole lot of discussion surrounding this, right? Because we didn't talk about the economic benefits and governmental. Like, we really haven't delved into this in terms of the real issue with being a single parent, a single mother, right? And how that is incentivized, and how, you know, part of the toxic part of feminism that inform you that, oh, you could do it yourself. There's a video from 1982 or 3 or something like that. I don't know if you saw it, Derek, but there's a video where they were interviewing a group of young women, and they were saying, yeah, we don't need a man. You know, we know
got some right here. If you want to go.
Yeah, we don't need a man. You know, if we were to get pregnant or anything like that, or you know, we know that the state got us covered welfare. We know that you know, we don't need a man. We just want the child just to say
government replace the husband.
Right. So there's a whole lot of conversation going on here, but I think the overall message, we may revisit this at some other point in time, but the overarching message is, ladies and gentlemen, let me give it to both men and women, right? Whenever you get into situations with the other sex or whatever, and you are looking to have sex, intimacy, please take a moment and study. If something were to come about from this, like a child, is this somebody that I like, that I could go at the very least co-parent with? Because in my situation, that's not the plan was to get married. The plan was to go down the line and everything like that. It didn't work out like that. But I'm glad we did it how we did it, because it's like you aim for the stars and we land on the moon, which is still a pretty good place to be in terms of us being able to co-parent and do the best for our son and everything like that. We have no contention. We have no issues. I would do anything for her. I am sure she would do anything for me. We just know that it is about making sure that we're good for our son, right? So anytime you get in a situation, so as Derek said, we ain't telling you not to fool. Derek and myself are not telling you not to fool. What we are telling you is to use discretion And please make sure that if you are going to go in raw, or if you can fumble boat, as Cherry said, don't make 30 seconds make you idiot. Don't make 30 seconds got you on social media crying about talking about how men and shit and how you want a break and how women this. Like, no, because you are responsible for the actions and the consequences of your actions, right? So I don't know, we are 10 minutes to 10 there. I don't know how you're feeling.
Yeah, I just want to kind of put a bow on it. And I'm glad that you addressed both men and women here at the end, because when it comes to the whole single mother thing, I don't want us to glorify it, men nor women, because the women can feel very empowered about it and thinking, oh, but yeah, I could do bad all by myself, but I don't know why anybody would want to do bad anyway. And the men can buy into it as well, thinking, oh yeah, we don't need a family structure. I don't need to be a part of it. I could kind of just reproduce and, let the woman raise a child, but peep in from time to time, and that would be sufficient. So we as men need not buy into that kind of narrative as well. We need to be more present. And I'm glad that you were able to, as I said, address both men and women, because it's not just one person and not the next. It requires both set of people, and you don't need both either set of persons buying into this this idea that single motherhood is okay, and that single motherhood is the new family. Right? We teach family, we do social studies, exams, and stuff like that. It's up with single parent. Yeah, that had that example to today. Single parent family, nuclear, and all them things. And we need not buy into the idea. And I can tell you that there are men out there that buy into this idea that, yeah, I don't need to be there. So I'm just glad that we kind of dissuade people from doing that.
Two things really quickly now that you mentioned that, right? One, the thing about, I was going through, so my son doing promotional exams now at 7. And he was doing social studies, and they were doing is like health and family or something like that. It's
Right.
health and family. And
health and family life.
Right. And he was doing nuclear family. And my son has a problem. I was going through it with him. He has a problem with uncle and niece and cousin and various things, right? And his mother and I, we had a conversation like, yeah, boy, like, he ain't getting it. This boy know Spanish. This man know math. This man know things about the eyelid and thing. But this boy can't get the family thing, understand? But then we had the discussions like, yeah, because our family
is not representative of that.
It's not representative of that. Like, you got a grandfather, grandmother, a father and a mother, brothers, siblings, and then you got the tree coming down, and then you got like the whole nuclear family. When they teach those things, it's surrounded by nuclear family. But my son can't relate to was a cousin. My son can't relate to what was because my son has cousins.
Don't see it.
He has cousins, but he has cousins through like the aunt or the second cousin remove or whatever. He doesn't have a straight line. Like my sibling and her sibling, they don't have children, right? And he doesn't know my other siblings. Anyhow, the point remains is that's one. And two, the second thing is we did not have an opportunity to talk about. There is this thing that the population is a huge question around replenishing the population and people kind of creating new families and having children and stuff like that. And there is this thing where a lot of women and men saying they want children, they're too big for them. Whatever, we see videos like this, women will see that and get scared and say, see me, I'm trying to get that with the women. And then couple that with the feminism side of it, where you want certain things and prioritize certain things and you hold off of having children. We did not have a discussion surrounding the impact that this has on our role as human beings or as a species to replenish children.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we see videos like that, I when I see videos like that, or as a woman seeing videos like that, I can't imagine me saying, all right, well, let me go have a child. Let me go up there and, you single, you don't have somebody, go and go through all of that shoot and, the rhetoric man and shit and the whole thing that's going on in social media. What is the incentive for, one, women to get in relationships with men? Two, what is the incentive for women to have children for men?
Nothing.
And lastly, what is the incentive for men to get married and stuff like that? So we are in a very bad and precarious place, I think, as men and women, particularly in the Black community, because we do not have any desire to be married. We don't have a desire to have children, to father or to mother children with a partner. And we feel that we could do it all by ourselves, right? And
I want to push back on that. I don't think um I don't think we don't have the desire. We do. Many of us within our Caribbean community or diaspora have a sincere desire to marry, to have children, and do all of the things that come with those particular benchmarks or moments, right? We do. I think what has happened is, yes, there's a lot of imbalance. Too many people have been doing it backways, so that we don't necessarily want to jump up. Like, I have gotten to the point where I'm like, I good with just being married. I really am just good with that. I don't necessarily feel that I have to have children. I said this the other day, just because I'm a woman, it doesn't make me any less of a woman to not have children. I think my girlfriends have enough children for me to, ever desire to be a mother. Like, yeah, I can babysit if you want. I have a niece
Send them back.
and I can send them back. There's a process though that goes into that decision of not having children, where it's weighing the cost, the mental cost, mental emotional cost, the physical cost, and then the social cost. When I personally think about the trajectory of how things have shifted from when I was a child to now, and the things I see people talking about in schools and in households, or just when I casually hang out with friends, and to hear the dialogue, I'm like, there is absolutely no way I am going to bring a child into this space. Like, it doesn't make sense. When I factor out all the different costs associated to raising a child right now, it don't make no sense.
But here's the thing, right? To what you just said, and I understand everything you're saying, but to me, I think this is the time where you would want to have a child. If you do want to have a child, or if you do have a child, you would want that with someone that you are in some sort of understanding and commitment with, that you can both raise the child with understanding and protect the child and to be there for the child.
I agree with that. But the weight of the situation for myself and the weight of the situation for the partner, so I'm saying, when you factor in the costs associated,
right, I understand. It's just
a lot.
I understand. It's just that, right. So I agree with what you're saying. It's just that when that woman was saying that she just want to be a mom and not a wife, that is wild to me. That's even further proof that statement cannot make sense.
Well, let me put on my conspiracy theorist hat here a little bit, and say, you don't really do it much, right? And they don't like talking about race either too much on the show. But I do believe that there are some things, conspiring against us. People of our particular hue. In terms of, because we were the persons, and Dr. Kerry mentioned that we do have a desire to be married and all those things. But when you look at you talk about radical feminism, Neil, with the Roe v. Wade, terms of population control and all that. Because one thing black people could do, we could reproduce.
Well, then what we could do. Shoot, especially when times get hard, boy. When times hard, boy, we's fool.
So when you talk about population control, they got a term for it, Planned Parenthood. When you talk about that, radical feminism, kind of dismantling the home, the infiltration, the government in the U.S. communities as well, where the government replaces the husband, and then, which we did not touch on at all tonight, the LGBT. A friend of mine at work, the man said to me, look, if you can't reproduce, you got to convert. So,
oh boy,
when you talk about population control, that is a huge thing. And I don't think we recognize what's going on in that regard. And I think that's a nice segue for me into next Tuesday's show, because I had the show, this one put down for a little bit so you can put it together and bring it next Tuesday. So folks, it is 10 o'clock in Barbados and the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. You've been watching episode 220, The Mother. This is the live stream. This is Senate Podcast.
Don't forget,
Hit the like button.
Sorry to cross you. Not to cross you, but I don't know if you want to play the video and
Oh yeah. We can do that on the way out. So yes, we want to thank Cherish for coming on again tonight and being a part.
It was a great discussion.
Of it. Yeah. Dr. Kerry, as always, great to have you. And this is Thursday, so hopefully Neil will sort us out with some shorts and things on wellness for tomorrow to carry us through the weekend. Having said that, please don't forget, folks, August 20th, 6 p.m. That's a Sunday. Come on out to the Ginger Lily Hall over by the Mannings. And we're going to have a good time with the second edition of the King's Gathering. Come on out, get the presentations, get the information. It's going to be great. We had a great time the first time around. So nice we had to do it twice. So come on out to that. And as we get out of here, please remember, folks, Cherish, Dr. Kerry, Neil, and myself, we do not make up the rules. We just make sure you know what they are. Be the best version of you for you. And you can ignore reality all you want. You cannot ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. And as you traverse the dating streets, please remember. We're going to see you guys again soon. Check out this graphic that we got a graphic. Yeah, we got a graphic and we got a video. So put the graphic on screen for us, Neil.
You're there ready.
Yeah, this is what we're going to experience this weekend, or this Sunday for Father's Day. We're probably going to get a lot of this. So fellas, brace for impact. I'm sure you are bracing for your ties and boxers. That's how it goes for Father's Day. Enjoy it. And then, Neil, you made mention earlier in the show of a lady with child support and, you know, how it didn't go well and all that. So I thought I'd bring back this classic in quick time for you guys to enjoy on the way out. See you later.
Peace.
All right. I'm braced.
Put it ready?
Ready.
All right,
hey, man, I'm here.
This one, it was spiritual word. Gotta love them. They carried this one, but on site carried this one as well. A couple of people sent it to me. And this is a tweet, right? Somebody asks, my baby daddy got promoted, so I appealed for more child support. He ordered a DNA test and my son failed. He put the results in my mailbox. I forgave myself for cheating, but he's being petty.
Bumbleclad.
He's been my... I try to read this with a straight face. Hold on. He's been my son's dad for 8 years. Why ghost my child now? How to fix it? Hashtag SBC chat.